Yo, what is going on, everybody? TG here, back with another video, and today we're going to be going over some of the gambling stocks in the sector and which ones that you should be looking after, and some of the ones that are on a good bargain right now. So there's about four of them that come to mind when I think of gambling stocks. Number one being DraftKings. DraftKings is, as you guys know, if you watch any sort of sporting event, their advertisements are everywhere. DraftKings has done really good about getting their name out there. They have a good CEO, Jason Robbins. And it's a solid company. But if we jump into the logistics of it and the revenue and the earnings, things get a little more tricky. So as you guys can see, DraftKings is still not profitable. Last quarter, they lost $161 million in total. Now, this is normal for stocks that are, climbing up and trying to get there. Profitability, it takes a little while. But they are still unprofitable as of right now. The good thing is, though, they did do a dilution recently, and they have about $1.2 billion cash on hand. And that's huge. Having that much money cash on hand is absolutely huge. They can use that for more advertisements. They can use that to get some of their debt down. They can do that to get some more employees. They can do a lot with that. And they've also been signing a lot of exclusive deals recently. A day ago, they signed a deal with AT&T, Turner Sports, which is huge. And a couple weeks ago, they signed one with ESPN, and another week ago, they signed one with the New York Giants. So they have their foot in the door, and they have their name out there. And I really like DraftKings. I think at the current price right now of $44, it's a solid price. Personally, I'm going to watch and see if it drops into the 42s. If it does drop into the 42s, I will be picking up some shares because online gambling is a growing business. And as you guys can see, in 2019 alone, $53.7 billion. That's pretty impressive, and it's expected to reach 59.6 by 2020. And it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. Now, obviously, presidentials and legislation and all that stuff can play an impact on it, depending on, whether they ban sports betting or whether they open it up to more states. Because right now, there's only a couple states that actually have sports betting allowed, New Jersey being the biggest one. Okay, so as more states open, the idea of sports betting and using it as a way to, bring in revenue for their state, you could see these stocks fly. So DraftKings is probably the number one pick that most people know of, but there's also some other ones out there. Another great one is Penn National Gaming. Now, Penn National Gaming is not just an online betting, but they also have actual in-person casinos and racetracks, which is big. It's a little more risk because they have that overhead of having those properties and the rent that they have to pay on them. But they can also bring in revenue through different things, people actually gambling in person or betting on the racetracks, etc. Another thing that they did is they bought a big stake in Barstool Sports, which is, if you guys don't know what Barstool is, it's a big college media entertainment thing. It's cool. It has a lot of followers. And a lot of followers brings in a lot of traction. A lot of traction brings in a lot of money. And their CEO of Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy, genius, absolute genius, and he knows how to hype up a business, and that's what he continues to do. He has his foot in the door on a lot of different things. He's on CNBC, he's on Mad Money, he met with the president. He's a big guy, and he's got his name in a lot of things. So I would never bet against Portnoy, and I don't recommend you bet against Portnoy either. But let's go ahead and look at the statistics. So as you can see, not profitable either. They are lost $213 million last quarter. So, but they were profitable before that. And they're expected to be profitable again in the next quarter, I believe. They are expected to be profitable in the next quarter. And if that happens, then that could be, very significant. They could end up, the stock could be flying. So right now there's a lot of hype into it. Obviously with Barstool, that gives them a huge advantage of the youth in online sports betting, and with that following, that's constant new people coming in all the time and really getting those new customers. So that's huge. But as you guys can see, it's still not profitable as of right now. So we'll see the next quarter. It's coming pretty soon. I believe the 29th of October is when they report earnings again. So it's something to look forward to. There's also another one that is actually a SPAC, LCA, that did a merger with Golden Nugget. And people have been really talking about this stock because it has a really small market cap of only $1 billion exactly. and they're actually profitable. They ended up making money last quarter, only $60,000 worth, but they did make money. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But they do have a little bit of cash on hand, only 1 million cash on hand compared to these other ones that have over $1 billion cash on hand. But it's a smaller company, smaller market cap, so greater risk, but obviously greater reward. And I've heard a lot of good things about this, and it could be a good play. Personally, I don't know if I'm going to invest in LCA. I'd have to see what it does, but it was pretty low recently. It's gotten in the 13s from where it was, but it also was only $9 in June. So we'll see what happens. But if this thing drops into the 12s or even 11s, I'd say it's a pretty good play. And then there's obviously MGM, which we all know, the MGM Grand, MGM Resorts, MGM Casinos in Las Vegas and basically all over the country. And MGM Resort is, obviously has been around since 1986. It's very big market cap of 10.5 billion, and they have resorts, casinos, hotels, and they also have BetMGM, which is their own online gambling. So they have their foot in the door on a lot of different things, but also, as you guys know, with real estate comes risk. And when during the pandemic, when they're not allowed to have their hotels open or their casino floors open, they're losing tons and tons of money on that, which is why last quarter they lost almost $1 billion, $857 million. That's huge, but they do have $4.84 billion cash on hand, which is also huge. But it's going to be definitely interesting to see, now that casinos are opened up again, what next quarter will look like. I don't know if they'll be profitable, but it's something to look forward to. But it's really tricky to decide if these are good plays or not. I mean, MGM has had quite a run up from where it was. I remember selling puts on this thing when it was super low, and it ended up recovering super, super nicely. Like I remember, I was selling puts for 15 here back in July, and then it just ended up taking off and running. So it'll be interesting to see its earnings on when it reports. But this thing does have a lot more risk, a lot more overhead, but it's also a lot more established, and it's going to have that constant flow of revenue coming through between the hotels and the casinos, and now there's betting online as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. Online gambling is continuing to grow every single year, and obviously that helps because it's becoming a bigger and bigger business in the United States, and it's going to bring in a ton of money as well. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what regulation does as well. But if you see that states are becoming more open to doing online gambling, you're going to see these stocks absolutely fly because they're going to make so much extra money having their foot in the door in more than just a couple states. So it's something to look forward to. Personally, if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick DraftKings. It's a little more established and everyone knows the name of DraftKings, but you can't go wrong with Penn either. Penn having Portnoy on their side is a huge, and I think that was a brilliant play that Penn did, buying a big stake in Barstool Sports. So we'll have to see what happens, but overall, like I said, this is a good market, and this is the future right here. So it's something to go into, something to do, but just obviously with this comes some risk because sports shutting down. You saw how low these things got when everything shut down in March. But hey, it's one of the risks that happened, but obviously this thing has climbed up since, and as of a couple of days ago, it was $64 a share, and now it's $44 a share. So it could go lower, it could go higher. I'm not telling you guys to pull the plug or anything. I'm just simply informing you about, online gaming in the sector, or online gambling in the sector, and, how profitable it can really be. And it's a growing business. So something to look forward to, something to see. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this guys gave you some knowledge on, what some of these stocks are and where you can place your money if you're looking to make a bet on some of these online gambling sectors. So anyways, guys, if you like it, remember to like and subscribe. There's a Discord in the link below that will show you all the plays that I'm making. And I just hope you guys are all having a good day and doing well. So hope you guys have a good weekend coming up. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy, guys. Bye.